Well, I'm excited that the Queen has just let me know she's coming out to help me. We just came from the Gary Farmer event. By the time you watch this video, it will be over. But if you're in the Pittsburgh tri-state area, check them out. Very cool establishment. Got animals. They had a Santa and Mrs. Claus meet and greet today. So it was pretty cool to see the magic in the air, if that makes sense. Especially the kids, even some of the adults. But it was a very, very cold event, and we're trying to thaw out, but we have work to do, so we're gonna go in the barn here and start figuring out some elevations for the horse stalls. And I want her very much involved in this because it is her preference, pretty much. So we're gonna get moving on that, and I'm gonna fire up a heater for her and myself, so stay tuned. This thing is incredible how much heat it puts in this building. The YouTube community is amazing. The outsource of concern for being asphyxiated from carbon monoxide and stuff. But we have testers in here, such a big building. And there's cracks all through here, so I think we'll be good. But gotta shut this big door here first. So what's nice about construction is whenever you start with things being level, you continue to build off those benchmarks, if that makes sense. So when I set all these forms and all this concrete, I know that this is level all the way going down on this edge. So now we're gonna use that as benchmarks, projecting laser beams over to that ring of the barn. That way we will know the depth of the gravel. And then we bought those horse stall mats I was telling you about. There's about 32 of them. So we're gonna lay all that out. There's something about limestone that helps with smell and bacteria. So we're gonna get some limestone chips, rubber mats, and then that way the bedding will be a little recessed from this, is what we're hoping to do. All right, so she is here, and I didn't catch it on camera. She gave me a little bit of a compliment. She said, "You really full sent this," right? So anybody that knows me knows that I'm full throttle on everything. So we're gonna transfer some marks. Here's the laser. You could see the green beam over here. So I just took a measurement from this mark down is 2 1/4 inches. So we're gonna project that across. So we know 2 1/4 inches is the top of the concrete. We're gonna project that across. So this mark here, 2 1/4, that's top of concrete. So we need to establish from here down how far we want that to be lower than a concrete. Then we're gonna put the limestone chips in, and then what? Limestone chips, then mat, then bedding, right? Yeah. So the theory behind the limestone chips, like I said, is something to do with odor control and for bacteria. So now we have to just come up with a decision on how far we're gonna go. So some of the dilemma is you're worried about the horses stepping out of the stall and dragging bedding, right? So this is what we're trying to eliminate. So right there, the concrete's about 3 3/4 inches high. So if you figure the mats are about 3/4 inches. So she has to make a decision on how much of a lip we have. So that's what we're gonna talk about now. And then we'll be right back. There's Luna, the barn cat. She's wondering why her cat condo is not done yet. So I am just switching gears. Sometimes you just need to take a mental break from something. And my nail gun was freezing and didn't want to run the heater too much. So her and I just discussed that we are going to potentially go with this elevation and then maybe put a board that they have to step over top. So that's gonna save us a ton of manual labor. We'll pretty much grade all this out through here and then get a benchmark, is what they call it. And then if it is a little bit lower, that's a bonus. So we're not gonna bring in more material, right? We'll just go with what we can get that's a good benchmark, and then we'll continue it out. But the last video I posted, the man's best friend over there has saved us a tremendous amount of time versus doing it with a wheelbarrow or stuff, because I didn't want to bring in our track skid steer through here because it definitely would be hard on the concrete coming over the edge. After doing some preliminary measuring and stuff, we decided that this is a little bit high. So our difference between the top of concrete to the top of this was 1 inch. The mats are 3/4 of an inch. So that only gives us a 1/4 inch of bedding, padding underneath there, that limestone that you said helps cushion it, correct? So that is why I'm trying to dig this down a little bit. I'd like to get like an inch buffer of gravel. So we're gonna take some more shots and check this out here. So we got most of it dug out. This is like really hard reclaimed asphalt. She thinks like from the yarn and the bedding it really packed in real tight. So I'm just picking it down. There's just a little bit of an area. If not, I have to get an excavator to reach in there. And I don't feel like going to get a machine just for that. So this is right where I chipped out, and we're at 4 1/4. So 2 1/4 is concrete height, 4 1/4 adds +2. So now our rough measurement's gonna be 2 inches below grade, and then we'll put the limestone and then the padding in. Right, boss? Okay. So we're gonna time lapse some of this stuff, work our way out, and this is just part of getting things situated before you put the horse stalls in. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this video. We're gonna continue working out on this project here, and we'll just catch bits and pieces of the progress as we're putting up the horse stalls. We just wanted to show how to establish the base and the foundation before you get started. And Keisha's back there. It was really fun to get to do a project with her. We just hope that we can, as the weather gets better coming into spring, we're gonna really get this thing together, and you're gonna see some major progress on this. So like always, we appreciate you watching, and catch you on the next one. Take care.